friends, welcome to another video. Today is actually my first day of our first week of spring break. We get split up into 2 weeks. 1 week is this week, it's called President's Week in our district, and then another week is in March. So I don't have students today or at all this week, and I've been feeling a little bit lately like we need a little bit of a refresh, redesign. Some things aren't working for us, so I thought it'd be fun to take you guys along with that process and show you guys how I'm switching things up. Before we jump into today's redesign, I wanted to let you guys know that today's video is sponsored by Audible. As a busy teacher, I feel like I am constantly go, go, go. Being able to listen to audiobooks while I'm on my way to work, while I'm on my way home, before and after school, while I'm prepping stuff, even while I'm exercising after work, has been a really nice way for me to relax and recharge and not think about school. I am actually currently listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama.
As soon as I allowed myself to feel anything for Barack, the feelings came rushing. A toppling blast of lust, gratitude, fulfillment, wonder. Any worries I'd been harboring about my life and career, and even about Barack himself, seemed to fall away with that first kiss.
The fact that I get to have Michelle Obama talking to me and telling me her life story makes it feel like we're best friends, which is the coolest thing in the world because I feel like we would be best friends in person. She's like my hero, my idol. I love her and I'm obsessed with her. So getting to hear her story has been amazing and a really cool experience for me. But whatever you're into, Audible has a ton of different options for you. They have thousands of titles for their audiobooks, but they don't just have audiobooks. They also have podcasts, they have news, they have guided wellness programs, comedy, they even have meditation programs, which I think is really, really cool. Whether into self-development, wellness, news, anything that you're into, there really is something for everybody. When you get an Audible membership, you can download anytime. You don't have to be connected to Wi-Fi in order to be able to listen. The app is completely free and can be downloaded on all smartphones and tablets. And I think the best feature is that if you're listening to it on 2 different devices, it's gonna save your spot. So you're not gonna have to try to find where you were. It's gonna keep your spot for you on all devices. Audible is also hosting a challenge for current and new Audible members. If you finish 3 audiobooks by March 3rd, you get a $20 Amazon credit. If you're interested in checking out Audible, you can go to the link in the description box. It is audible.com/3rd grade, or you can text the code 3rd grade to 500-500. Once again, that link is audible.com/3rd grade, or you can text the code 3rd grade to 500-500. Definitely let me know down below if you end up trying it out. Let me know what titles you're interested in. And now it is time to get started with the classroom redesign. So this is what my classroom looks like right when you walk in. We have this little small table down here, and Lord help me, I cannot figure out for the life of me how to get that blue part back on the chair. So I need to take that chair back to Lakeshore and ask them to help me. But right now the students just don't sit on it. So don't mind that. That's just a little bit of real life. I'm not gonna hide that from you guys. And then up here is our living room area. That's just what we call it. But this is where we do whole group instruction from because instead of having a Promethean board, we have a smart TV in our classroom, so that's where we do all of our lessons from. Most of my lessons are either on Google Slides or online with our Wonders curriculum for ELA. So the students come down here with their clipboards or their whiteboards, they have something to write on, and we usually do no more than like 20 to 25 minutes for lessons, and then when they are doing independent work or partner work, they can sit wherever else they want. So if you have been around for a little bit, you know that I do flexible seating. So each student has a bin. The bins are over there in those white crates. In the morning, they come and get their bin, they put it at a desk, and that's kind of like their home base just for the day. And they can choose to sit there again the next day, or they can sit somewhere else. But right now, all the desks are not facing the same way. So these ones, some of the kids are facing the walls. These ones, they're all facing forward. And then the kids that sit at the desk, if I'm doing something over here on the whiteboard, they have to completely turn around in order to see me. So the reason that I'm feeling like I need to kind of reconfigure my classroom is because I've been using Nearpod a ton for math lessons. So what Nearpod is basically I can upload my Google Slides or my PowerPoints onto Nearpod, and then students are able to see the slides. They can't move ahead or they can't go backwards. They're always going to be on the screen that I'm at, but no matter where they're sitting in the classroom, they can see the lesson. So when I'm doing that, it's not so important that they're up here with me anymore, although sometimes I do want them to all be together down here. But when we're doing Nearpod, they're at their desks and they have a whiteboard marker that they can use to solve. But if I'm going to show them what the answer should look like on the whiteboard and none of them are facing me, it makes it a little bit difficult to get their attention. So what I want to do is I want to move the desks either facing this whiteboard or this whiteboard. if I have them face this whiteboard, then I'm gonna move some of this stuff, maybe all of it, but at least these two parts right here in the middle over to this whiteboard. Or I was thinking I could move the stage to under this whiteboard. That way it doesn't make it so difficult for me to write on the whiteboard. But I'm not sure. So we're just gonna kind of have to play with it and see how it goes. And then if I move all the desks, then I want to move the living room around too. So what I was thinking is putting the futon against the wall where the TV is and basically just kind of flipping the living room around the other way. And then I'm thinking I want to put the TV right here. So if the students are facing this whiteboard, if they're at their desk but I need to show them something on the TV, I can just turn it because as you guys can see, the TV's on wheels, so I can kind of move it depending on where the computer is that it's plugged into. But I have never not had my classroom TV over here, so I'm a little nervous about changing that up, and I don't want to block off the Essential 35, but if I'm planning on moving the TV anyways, depending on where I want it for my students, then it might not matter. I'm kind of just thinking out loud. I hope this makes sense, but if the TV is right here, then if my students need to see something, I can just turn it and face it towards them because it's on wheels, and then if I do want them in the living room, I can just turn it towards the living room. I hope that makes sense. Let's see how this goes. I'm just gonna start moving things and playing with it, and I will pause and catch you guys up in a little bit. So I don't think I'm ready right now to change out the living room area because all the cords for the TV are kind of jumbled up. I was just noticing, don't judge me, but it's kind of a mess back there, and I don't want to do anything that breaks my computer or doesn't allow me to use it when we get back. So I think I need to wait until I have IT here with me to have them help me figure out if I'm able to use a Chromebook with a TV. Because if I am, then I don't need to have it attached to the desktop, which would mean that I had a lot more freedom with where I moved it. So I think for right now, I'm gonna leave this the way that this is for up here in the living room area. And then I started arranging the desks to face this whiteboard over here. But I think I'm gonna flip them around and have them face that whiteboard because over the summer I'll have more time to kind of figure this out and play with it, and then I'll be able to move that as well because I have to take everything down off my walls this year to be clean. So I don't want to do that all right now and then have to do it again over the summer. So I think I'm just gonna flip these and put them facing that whiteboard. I tried to put the high tops in the back, but now they're in the front, obviously, if I'm turning it the other way. So I'm gonna move all of these high tops back here. And you guys always comment on the shape of my desk and how cool they are. They look cool, but they're kind of hard to configure because they're not just a regular square or rectangle. So the only shape that they make is like an arch or a circle if you had enough desks. And this classroom, although it looks big, it's a portable and it's long and narrow, and it's just kind of like an awkward space to have this size of desk. So it kind of makes it a little bit trickier to figure out. The way that I made lines with them is that I just had the desk in the middle flipped around, so the kid who was sitting there was sitting on the opposite side, but I don't want the kids sitting different ways because if I want them all facing the board, I need them all to obviously be facing the same way. So I'm gonna put the smaller desks in the front of the classroom, which is now gonna be over there, and then move the high tops to the back. And then the only thing I don't love is that those desks that were behind the futon was covering this hot mess, so I don't know what I want to do about that. I guess I could just put something over it so that you can't see what it looks like back there. I don't know yet. We'll see. Part of this whole thing and the journey with flexible seating is saying I don't know a lot and figuring everything out kind of as you're going. So don't judge me for saying I don't know a lot. I'm just trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to make a classroom that fits what my students' needs are and kind of what our style of learning is right now. So we're trying something new. We'll see how it goes. As always, I'll keep you guys updated, but I'm gonna put you guys down right now and move all this around. Really like how it turned out. So as I was mentioning, these desks are kind of funky to work with because they're oddly shaped, and so when you start moving them, you're kind of never sure like how they're going to fit together until you actually see it. But this is what we got going on. Let me step back so you guys can see the whole thing. The only thing I'm not loving are these two camping chairs over here. I didn't really know what to do with them. And I think once I do end up moving the TV, I will move those and it'll be easier to configure them. But right now, I'm just gonna leave them right there and students can sit there while they're doing independent work. There is still a little walkway right here, and then there is a student for each desk. No, strike that, reverse that. A desk for each student, including that little small table because students can sit down there as well. And now they're all facing the whiteboard. So when I'm showing them something on the whiteboard, they're facing me. When we're doing our whole group lesson, they can all sit down here, which now we usually do half and half. So only half the students need to be down here. So that's why I moved the futon up a little bit because I don't need quite as much space. And then anytime they're doing independent work, they can sit wherever they want around the room, including the camping chairs, the privacy chairs. They can sit on the futon, they can sit on the nugget in the library, they can sit on these fun little armchairs over here. And I think this is gonna work so much better for us. I hope that you guys can see. Let me move over here. As I'm looking through the camera, it's kind of hard to tell what it looks like. So I have all the high tops in the back, including the ones with the yellow chairs, and then the lower ones up front. I think my kids are gonna be really excited about this. I'm like a sweaty hot mess right now because it's a lot of work moving around all this furniture by yourself and trying to figure out where everything goes, and the AC isn't on right now because we aren't in school right now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day and I'm gonna see how it works with my kids, how they like it, any problems that we run into, and I will do my best to keep you guys updated on how it's working out. And if I do end up moving around the living room area so that I can move the TV, I will definitely film it for you guys so you guys can come along the process with me. I feel like you guys have been here since the beginning, since I did the classroom setup vlogs, and you've seen all the different changes that we've made. So it's kind of cool to see it go from one thing to another depending on what my kids need. That's one thing I want to mention with flexible seating. Don't get intimidated about having like the perfect setup right off the bat, because depending on your students and your teaching style and your classroom and the stuff that you have, things may change. And for me, they always change every year. So my kids said that they didn't like having to like turn around to look at the whiteboard. So I was like, how about I move the desks? And they were super excited. So I can't wait for them to get back and see how it works and see what they think. But I am quite hot and quite hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this here and get out of here. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys soon for another video, and I hope you have a good day.